Good morning. Hope you're doing well on this Thursday, August 26th. I'm Tracy McCain here with Tanya Rivera and Ed Matthews. Hey, Ed, I was wondering if you were frozen. There you are.
I am. I'm just very quiet and very calm. It keeps me cool when I'm that way.
My goodness, in the weather garden, I can see the sweat like beating.
Yeah, I have to keep powdering my nose. In Studio 2 now, the air conditioning is working mighty fine.
I bet.
Hopefully everybody's air conditioning is working good for today and beyond, because we've got indeed more hot weather for the Piedmont. And oh yes, a big dose of humidity to go along with it. And we're looking at low 90s not only today, but tomorrow, through the weekend, and even to start the work week next week. Some of the hottest weather may actually come over the weekend. 93, maybe even a 94 in a few spots. Low storm chance each day. Only a 20% chance today. So low Friday and the weekend, we don't even mention a probability. And then just a low chance as we go into early next week. So yeah, go ahead and make those weekend plans. It's Thursday? Yeah, we usually start making plans on Monday or Tuesday, right? But if you haven't got started, make those outdoor plans. I highly recommend something refreshing like a lake or a pool.
Both sound like great options right now.
Yes.
Yeah, my daughter went swimming yesterday and she was like, oh my gosh, it felt so great. And then I was like, you want to go back outside? She's like, no, thank you. Yeah, you can only take a little bit at a time.
Yes.
Yeah, it's one of those like weeks of summer that you're just like, I just don't want to be outside. And then I know that like in the next couple of months, I'm going to be like, oh my gosh, I wish it would warm up. And I just can't make myself get outside.
Yeah, August is turning into July.
Yes.
And so September will be August. And then
I don't even want to hear about 90s in October, Ed. Don't.
I hope that doesn't happen.
don't.
We'll have to wait and see.
Right. All right, well, let's talk about our first conversation. And of course, it has to do with food, because why wouldn't it? You know, just like you probably start your day thinking about what's for lunch, so do students, right? So we want to know what is in your child's lunchbox, or do you pay for lunch instead and have the lunch that's provided by the school? Some of you already texted in some answers, and I'd love for you to text or type them in on the comment section as well.
So Amy says, my youngest will eat at school or pack a lunch if she doesn't like what's on the menu. My oldest always has a packed lunch due to dietary restriction. Tiffany says, I made my kids ham and cheese pinwheels. Those are cool. Grapes, carrots, chessman cookies, and a juice box. I also include a mommy loves you note. I love that.
Is cute.
All right, another viewer says, for variety, my 8-year-old granddaughter alternates 1 week school lunch, 1 week carry lunch. Well, that's good. And Christina says, mine pack unless it's pizza day. That's right. Nobody wants to miss on pizza day.
Well, it's so funny. One viewer wrote about the mom notes, and I started doing that for my son this year. And I wrote a little heart that says just love mom, because he can't read much. I mean, he can read, you know, cat, dog, you know, basic words. Some full sentences depending on what they are, but I mean, you can't say have a superb day. He'll be like, what is that? Right. So,
Got to keep it simple.
Very simple. So I was just like, love mom, and I tried to write it on a different piece of paper. Well, I didn't do that last night for this morning. I just kept the same one in there, and he noticed.
And he said, hey, this is the same note.
Yes.
Step it up, Mom.
Yes. Yes. So my husband said he took it out of his lunchbox before he went to school because it was the same note.
Right.
He told me to step up my game.
That's right.
Got to remember that. But anyway, did you pack or lunch, or did you eat at the school cafeteria?
I'm a packed lunch kind of girl. Now, I did eat at the school cafeteria because, I mean, again, you don't miss pizza day, right?
Right.
And for me, I also didn't miss spaghetti day, which I thought the spaghetti at school was really good, and grilled cheese day. But most of the time I packed lunch. And so here's where the scars of my childhood come in, all right? It's confession time. Not that I want to put my mom under the bus or anything, but she's a dental hygienist, which means that I didn't have Little Debbie snack cakes. I didn't have chips. I didn't have candy in my stuff. I had carrot sticks. I had cucumbers. I had celery. I might have had raisins. Like nobody wanted to like
wow.
swap stuff at lunchtime with me because I had all the healthy food.
But you probably developed really great healthy attitudes towards food.
I did.
Yeah.
And I still go to carrots and celery and cucumbers,
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
to this day. But still, I never forgot that whole thing of people like, yeah, I don't want your
Right.
lunch.
Oh, can I have your Cheetos? You can have my celery.
Yeah, no.
No.
Said no one ever. Said no kid ever.
No. All right, Ed Matthews, you had a few favorite school lunches.
Oh, every one of them. I think I cleaned my plate every day of every year while I was in grade school. You know, Tanya, you mentioned spaghetti, and I had forgotten about spaghetti.
The school spaghetti.
Yum. Yeah, good stuff. And I would like to know, what do they put in the pizza that it is so fantastic? When I walked into the lunchroom and I saw the other kids that had already been seated, and I saw the square, it's got to be square pizza.
I know, for some reason, the square just makes it all taste better.
Yeah. Oh man, school pizza is so good. And I remember in my grade school, the rolls that they had were really good as well. I think overall lunches were pretty good. Of course, I eat everything in sight. So, but I think overall my elementary school and even middle school did a great job with the lunches. Yeah.
I feel like they used to give you more at school lunch, you know, when we were kids.
I haven't seen a school lunch in a while, so I don't know.
Okay.
It was never enough for me. It's
Well,
like,
and you know what? We had a couple of people say that on the Facebook page. They said that the school lunch is not enough for their kids.
See?
And so they pack them lunch instead.
So there is something to that. Because I remember getting at least 2 square pizzas
wow.
when we were school lunch. Yeah. And I looked on the Guilford County Schools website when they have pizza this Friday. It's only 1 piece, 1 slice.
But Tracy, now wait a minute.
Yeah.
I've got the solution. You're special.
No.
All you had to do, Tracy, is crack that beautiful smile.
Oh, yeah.
And they gave her another piece of pizza.
That's it. So there you go.
Right.
So why do I still have to pay a mortgage and a car payment? I'm smiling at them too.
That's not working, huh?
Work. But yeah, so I do feel like, you know, there's a difference now. They do have more sides being offered. Because when we were kids, I don't know about you, it was like just one other thing with your main hot lunch. Maybe like
Green beans.
yes,
I remember that
typically,
a lot.
and
Mashed
like
potatoes.
a milk.
How about tater tot day? Because I'm all about the tater
yeah.
tots. All right, so
Yes.
some folks say in my day, I walked home for lunch. So that's interesting because my high school had open lunch, so you could go off campus for lunch.
Oh, nice. In high school.
I don't
yeah.
remember that like in elementary or middle. And then some folks say, you know what, my kid packs a turkey and cheese every day. And then someone else says a ham and cheese every day.
And then did you read the PB&J every day?
Yes.
That's a staple.
I mean, a good PB&J.
yeah.
I'm all about the PB&J. Now, here to me is the secret of the PB&J. You get a couple of potato chips and you slip the potato chips inside the
Ooh.
PB&J, and it makes it a little crunchy.
Little crunch.
Uh-huh.
Nice.
I like that.
Yeah, you have a lot of tricks.
Well, because I wanted to get in the chips somewhere without my mom knowing, I guess. I don't know, but it's really good. Yeah.
A little sneak attack. I love it. Well, you know, I think there is a difference between school lunch then and school lunch now, but
I'm sure.
whatever it is, it's like they now provide a menu and it's online. So you can literally like pull it up every day and decide, am I going to have lunch or am I not going to have lunch, or plan it for the week.
Right.
You know, I felt like it's not as much of a sudden decision this way.
Right.
You know, whereas, you know, when I was a kid, it was always like a last minute thing, like
Of what you were gonna
bringing
do?
Yeah, exactly.
And so now here's the next question. Who packs the lunch? Because I know a lot of parents who say at a certain age or whatever, the kid has to pack their own lunch. Or I'll make the sandwich, but then they have to pack whatever snacks that they put in and make sure that they have a juice box or something like that.
Yeah. Eric Chilton said the same thing. He said he used to pack his kids' lunch until they got to the 3rd grade, and now they pack their own.
Okay.
It's interesting.
I wonder if Eric reviews what they pack. Because,
To make sure.
Yeah, because thinking back to the 3rd grade, I'd have had several bags of peanut M&Ms and some chips and chocolate pie, apple turnover, and all that stuff.
yeah.
So yeah, you know, that's okay to give your kid that responsibility, But just make sure you double check to make sure they have at least a couple of healthy things in there.
So by the way, he told me that he makes them pack his lunch as well, so.
Oh.
Eric? They pack his lunch?
That's what he said. Now, you know, Eric is a comedian, so
Yeah,
he
so
was
who
probably
knows?
joking. Yeah, who knows? But yeah, a lot of great comments here about school lunch. I mean, Angela Wilson says she packs the lunches, but they can add to it, and that's how my mom did it too. I mean, that's what I did at the grocery store. You know, she would put one thing in, I put 10 other things in.
Because that's how that goes.
Exactly.
But
Always
now
adding to it.
that you order online,
Yeah.
the kids can't do
They
that.
can't do
They're
that
not
to
going to
me.
have that memory. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, I'm saving a lot of money by ordering online.
Let's see. Oh, this person says, I was so happy when I made it to high school because they had the a la carte line. Remember that? So like in elementary and middle school, right, you got the school lunch. You got the pizza,
Right.
the green beans, the orange juice bar, right,
Yep,
and the milk,
everything.
and then you were on your way. But once you got to high school, you could either get the lunch or you could be like, I'll just have the fries. I'll just
Right.
have the side salad. I'll
Right.
just have the whatever.
Right, stretching your independence.
Right, and so therefore probably not doing a really good job nutrition-wise. Because,
No.
you know, the side of fries being your only thing for lunch.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
But if your parents gave you $5, then that's $4 that you got to keep.
That's right.
And then you probably went to McDonald's or Burger King after and spent the rest.
Right.
At least that's what I did. Yes.
Yep.
All right, so this is a great conversation. I'm very sad though. Jessica Richards says that she, you know, wasn't able to walk her kindergartner in for the first day of school. And I hate that for you because I was afraid that wasn't going to happen, you know, at my child's school too, but the principal did confirm that we could come in. We had to wear a mask because it's a Guilford County Schools policy. And we could walk our kids to school or to his classroom, but we couldn't stay for very long.
Right.
That was an experience that I'll never forget. I mean, I was so sad, but at the same time, I cherished that moment, and I'm so heartbroken that you weren't able to experience the same thing, all because probably COVID. Has to be, has to be, right? Oh, I'm so sorry. All right, let's see. We will have another conversation, and I think it's about something that Ed Matthews will enjoy. National Dog Day.
Oh.
Yeah, that's coming up.
Yeah.
But first, let's get to your morning headlines. Today, the Guilford County Board of Health will discuss next steps for the countywide indoor mask mandate. The county attorney got some of the original language wrong, and they said they needed to rework some of the specifics before enforcing the rule. So they will meet tonight at 5:30 to talk about enforcement and fines. Of course, we'll let you know what happens. Parents can expect an update from Guilford County Schools today. Superintendent Dr. Sharon Contreras and other district leaders will discuss mask policies, transportation, and other important details excuse me, about the new school year this morning at 11. WFMY News 2 will have a crew there, of course, so make sure you watch WFMY News 2 at noon for updates.
Well, learning more about one of the few triad school districts standing by their mask optional policy, Randolph County Schools reports at least 44 COVID cases associated with the school system during the first week of school. 12 directly affected schools, 277 students and staff have had to quarantine. The Delta variant is still fueling COVID cases and hospitalizations in our state. Triad school districts are trying to get ahead of it by ramping up their COVID-19 testing. As our iTenise McMiller reports, athletes in high-risk after-school activities will be required to get tested regularly to participate.
Well, testing differs between school districts. For Guilford County Schools, screenings are required for the unvaccinated. At Winston-Salem, Forsyth, it's for everyone that takes part in these activities, vaccinated or not. But of course, parents must give consent. School districts will request written approval from parents. They have the right to not give the district permission to test their child, but it'll result in them no longer being eligible to take part in athletics or other high-risk after-school activities. Those high-risk activities include band, choir, dance, and ROTC. This also applies to coaches and staff running the programs. People are randomly selected, so the same people aren't tested every week. A state contracted vendor will administer the test at schools. Isolation is required for those who test positive. Now, this applies to those in middle and high school. Guilford County Schools says they have not set a date for when testing will begin, and Winston-Salem testing is expected to begin next month.
All right, here's a conversation I told you about, Ed Matthews. It is here. Today we celebrate man's best friend. It's National Dog Day. So
I love it.
I know you do. We want to know if you have a family pet, a dog, of course, and if so, what kind. We want to know their name. We want to know their size, their weight, their stats.
Funny things that they do, right?
Exactly. Let us know in the comment section.
All right, let me tell you about one way you can pamper your pup. Today is just another excuse to spoil your four-legged friend. Chewy.com is offering deals on an array of items on its site, including discounts on virtual bundles and gift cards. Pampered living is pricey, I gotta tell you. The American Pet Products Association says the cost of owning a dog comes in at about $3,200 a year. That seems to be high to me, Ed, but you know, at the same time, if your dog has to have some major vet appointments, has to have their teeth cleaned, you could get close to that $3,200 bucks.
Really, really fast. As a matter of fact, a lot of people have, I guess what you'd call pet or doggy insurance. I've never had that, but it may be a good idea. But you know, I'm a pretty frugal person. I gotta really want something to buy it. But when it comes to the health of Rio, my little silky terrier, I'll flash out that credit card in a heartbeat.
Whatever the dog needs.
Absolutely, and I got to give a plug for North Elm Veterinary Hospital. That's where I take Rio. They're absolutely fantastic there. They discuss procedures that need to be done. They don't clean your wallet out. They'll say, well, maybe we don't need to do this at this time. We'll wait and all that. They're really great. They're really great. But my doggy, everybody knows Rio.
I know.
Yeah, I got Rio as a rescue dog when she was 4 years old. She came from Rockingham County. A lady was getting ready to have a baby, and Rio was very rambunctious, and she said, well, I got to find this dog a good home because I don't want her to scratch, my newborn. So she knew that I would be a good daddy and a good parent, and she actually gave me the dog, and Rio is a full-blooded silky terrier, very similar looking to a Yorkshire Terrier, but bigger in size. So when I'm out walking Rio, a lot of people will say, oh, I love your Yorkie, and I don't even explain it. But Silkies are a little bit larger. In November, she will be 17 years old. She's in pretty good health. She has a little arthritis. She sleeps a lot. But I thank God every day that my pup is still with me, and I spend as much time as I can with her because I know she's getting old. Converting that into people years, I think that's right around 90 years old.
Wow.
17 would be right around 90 years old.
And you guys still go on walks?
We do, not as long as we used to. I'll take her over to the park and I'll walk her for a distance and let her do her thing, let her do her business, and then I'll pick her up and take her back to the car. And I think she really appreciates the ride in my arms. But the doc says, get her out and let her get some exercise. I don't let her get too hot. And pet people, make sure you're careful with your pets on hot pavement and with this very hot weather. It can get to them, it can get to you. Just be careful.
You got a little pause.
Yeah, they say that if you can't put your palm down on the asphalt and let it stay there for several seconds, then it's too hot for the dog to actually walk out on that pavement.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Wow, that's interesting. I don't have a dog. My kids want a dog. But
I'm sure. To add to the circus, right?
and it really is a three-ring circus right now. We're going to hold off on that as long as possible. We did have a family cat. She's no longer with us, but we might get a dog at some point when the kids are old enough to really appreciate and help us take care of him or her. So, but I have a feeling, my feeling is like a pet chooses you. If you go to the shelter and you spend some time with it, the pet kind of is like, I like you or I don't. And if, the pet doesn't choose you, I don't feel like you have any business trying to take it home.
Tracy, it's interesting that you say that. I guess it's okay to say this on Facebook.
We'll see.
But when I went to this lady's house to meet Rio for the first time, the dog jumped up in my lap and just acted like we had known each other forever. And she marked her territory. She tinkled on me.
Oh, because she got so excited.
Yeah, she was excited, and we got along great, and we've been together ever since. But that was kind of a bonding measure, I suppose, the little tinkle. So it was cute.
And so this has been COVID. I have a COVID dog, right? Like, everybody's at home and what are we going to do? We're going to buy a dog. So we had a puppy, a chocolate lab puppy that we got at whatever weeks you get it at, 18 weeks or whatever. She's now 1.5 years, and let me tell you, she is super sweet, super kind, but she's big. She's like big. 65 pounds, almost 70 pounds. I was told the dog was not going to be that big, but that's okay.
When you posted a recent picture of her and she was laying on the couch, I thought she was a Mastiff.
She took up the whole couch.
Yes. And when you told me she was a chocolate lab, I was like, there's no way. They're not supposed to be that. I grew up with labs, golden retrievers, and they're great dogs. They're big, but they're not 70 pounds.
Oh, she's 70
usually.
Pounds.
Wow.
So we have several people on here talking about their fur babies as all. They're talking about a 3-year-old pointer named Harley David. That's very funny, as in like Harley Davidson. And then folks who say Jax is their 90-pound dog. And they also have a Chihuahua. I love that. Big dog, little dog together.
That's awesome. Oh, our Brian wants to know if you would share a picture of Rio, but I think you have one on your Facebook. I've seen one on your Facebook page.
Oh yeah, you can go on my Facebook page. I've got, every time she gets groomed at Downtown Hounds, just pulling plugs for everybody this morning, I just put her picture on there. And with her being a senior dog, I just am really, really saving those photos for the memories.
That's so cute.
Yeah.
Lots of pets. I think it's one of those things where having a family pet kind of calms the family down,
It definitely brings them together because they all have shared memories together with that.
Yes. It adds something to they become your family.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I can see why people have one, and I do too want another pet. I just don't think I could handle it right now.
Maybe not right now, but that's a season of life.
Yeah. And this season is wild.
Full on.
Wild, yeah.
Yeah,
it's like a hurricane at my house.
Tracy, I think you'll know when it's time.
Yeah.
Let the kids get a little bit older, but it really does teach and foster responsibility.
Right.
Having a pet, a dog, a cat, or any pet is like having another family member, and they really do become a family member. But you gotta feed them, you gotta bathe them, you gotta make sure that they have good health care and all of that. And I know people go to the shelter and they say, oh, that cute little dog. Don't get a pet unless you are really sure that you can take care of that animal and love that animal and spend time with it. If you're somebody that travels a lot with your career, I would say no.
Not a good idea.
Yeah, definitely not.
Goldfish, maybe.
Yeah, and that's my sermon for today.
I loved it. Oh, our producers are fast. Look, Ed. Your baby is on the screen.
Oh my goodness!
There he is.
Yes,
look at how
good
cute.
job, you guys. Thank you for doing that. This is when Rio was a little bit younger, and that you can't see it there for the super, but the little pink, it's a gingerbread man that she had with her when I got her way back in the day. And it is completely mutilated. She loves what's left of that now. But indeed, that's my baby Rio. I love her so much.
Sweet thing she is.
That is so sweet. So, and no, I don't see any Mastiffs on here. Obviously, Rio is definitely not one of those. But Deborah Martin has an American Bully. Is that a bull terrier?
I don't know.
Yeah. She says her name is Bella and she's 3.5 years old. And then we saw Debbie said, I have a rescue Persian, Roxy Annabelle. She'll be 12 next week. We also, oh, you read that one. I'm so sorry. Did you read that one?
I don't think Roxy.
Okay. No, not Roxy. We have a beautiful tuxedo named Teddy. Both love bugs. I know, that's so sweet. And then we also saw a renegade. Where is that one? That comment. Oh, Nicole said we have a renegade. She's a German Shepherd. Yes, so sweet. I love dogs. I love the names because you kind of name them based on how they look or act. And so I saw renegade and I'm like,
Right.
yeah, I know the attitude that she might have.
Right. And Tamrika says, I have 5 dogs ranging 4 pounds to the largest being 120. 4 pounds, 120.
Wow.
That's a huge range.
Yes.
But then you got to know that those big dogs are really good
Yeah.
with those little dogs.
They're sweet.
Right? They're sweet with them.
Yeah, and sometimes babies too. You see those videos on
Oh,
Instagram
yeah.
where like the Mastiff is like protective of the baby.
Yes.
And stuff like that. And I think that attitude matters too. Jessica Rule, who's our director here, said, I have a Chihuahua mix who thinks she is the size of a Mastiff.
Yes.
So attitude matters too.
So true.
Well, thanks for sharing your, pets with us and that great advice, Ed Matthews. I think I will wait quite a while longer,
Yeah.
maybe till they're in middle school
Hey.
before making that commitment, because it is a commitment.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
it really is, and it's a big responsibility, and you have to be aware of that. But you know what? You give them love, and they multiply it
yeah.
a million times and give it right back.
So sweet.
Yeah.
I know we went a little long today, but
Hey, we were talking about dogs. Yeah.
all right, let's wrap up with the forecast, Ed.
Okay, just one more quick thing about dogs. If you're looking for a pet, a cat or a dog, don't forget our WFMY To the Rescue Facebook page. Yeah, because area rescue groups post their available pets up for adoption. Okay, now let's do some weather. Hot. We're back to the low 90s today. Only an isolated storm, partly cloudy, muggy, and lower 70s tonight. And it's going to be hot really right on through the rest of the week and the weekend. Maybe even some mid-90s by Saturday and Sunday. Stay cool.
Yeah.
That's good advice if you can do it.
Yeah.
Maybe get on the couch like Kona did.
Woo, yeah, just like lay out.
Yeah, exactly. With some AC. All right, you're gonna have to share that picture, by the way. I'm gonna make you.
The Kona picture?
Yeah.
I can do that.
Okay, great. All right, we will see you guys next time on After GMS right here on the WFMY Facebook page. Have a great day, everybody, and stay cool.
Bye.